Like, I don't want to have anything to do with you people anymore.
Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. It's 2025. Good grief. Well, day before yesterday, Foodie had a bit of a tantrum in a rental car. I should name my next album that. A lot was said. A lot was not said. And some theories have thus sprung forth from my brain box. So let's get on with it, shall we?
People are saying the photo. Oh, I'm not answering those questions.
Those questions being that photograph. Questions like, what in the ever-loving heck were you thinking? Do you legitimately think that that was a convincing Photoshop thing? Did you genuinely, with all your heart, think that people would think it was genuine?
I know when I'm going back to Kuwait, yeah, but I'm not going to say.
Now, it was at this point that a theory started to bubble away in my head cauldron. And it grew the more along this video I went. Now, I'm going to put it here so that you can keep it in your mind when you listen to some more things she says. Now, I've just watched a video about all of Foodie's visa trips in the last 2 years by Hectic Llama, and I very much recommend that you watch it. Every time Foodie went to Kuwait, she vehemently, at the time, said that she was going to stay for a long time, for whatever reason, primarily health. Every time she denied that she was going back to Kuwait, and absolutely kept going on and on and on about her having to stay in Canada. Not this time. This time it's the complete reverse. She hates Canada. She can't wait to leave. She knows when she's going. I don't think she's leaving. I legitimately think she's staying for quite a long period of time, if not permanently. I think shit has gotten too bad in Kuwait in terms of all the lies and the fabrications and the deceptions that they've been doing that are of a legal matter, let's say, have finally come metaphorically knocking on their door. I'm going to say this now, out loud and proud. Let it be known that I, Fat Cow, on today, the 1st of January 2025, states that Foodie is not going back to Kuwait.
But you guys miss a version of me in Canada that you're never going to get back. Like that, I'm not going to regress back into my old ways. It's been almost 3 years? Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm happy that I've matured in a lot of ways, and that I don't want to be a mess anymore. I don't want to be like drinking and partying and just like Just not for me.
You can't regress to something if you never left that something in the first place. You can't regress if you didn't progress. We have seen Thailand. We have seen you on LolCow Live. We have seen you right now in Canada raging in a car, which sounds incredibly familiar. You have not changed. You are exactly the same person as you were 3 years ago, sans alcohol, and that's it. And the only reason you're sans alcohol is because you know when you're drunk the entire truth and your actual feelings come out in a torrent of verbal diarrhea, and you cannot take that back once it's done. It's the only good thing you've done. Give it a few more months in Canada. Let's see how that goes.
How do you know I'm a tourist, genitalia? How do you know? Where's your proof of this?
Firstly, the username, genitalia. Brilliant. Secondly, how do we know you're a tourist? How about the fact that you travel at very regular intervals, at very precise times? How about the video when you first came that you said you'd arrived on a tourist visa? Okay? You said you arrived on a tourist visa. Yet, having arrived on the 2nd of November, you upload a video on the 6th of November of you in the desert with pylons behind you going, wow, 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 look at my ring. Look, you kept doing that hand thing that said, look, I'm wearing a ring. Oh, gosh, wow. Oh. You had a ring on the 6th. You announced you got married in a video uploaded on the 8th, despite the fact you claim you got married on the 11th of November. A tourist visa does not allow an expat to marry in Kuwait legally. In order to marry, you need residency. To get residency without being married first, you need a sponsor and a job. You yourself said you came on a tourist visa. You then claim to have got married on the 8th, despite flashing your ring on the 6th. You cannot legally be married then, and the fact you keep having to travel during very specific time frames that happen to be the duration of a tourist visa means you still cannot legally be married, because otherwise you'd have residency and you could come and go as you please or not go at all, which I think would be preferable, because you like sitting on your arse doing nothing. You don't like the actual travel bit of travelling. You like arriving at the hotel and then sitting on your arse there. This is why everybody's so interested in whether you have a tourist visa, and you know this. We know you know this. We also know that you can't admit to this because admitting to having a tourist visa is admitting to not legally being married. Let's just cut the crap and none of us talk about it at all because it's pointless.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have no proof of anything. Like, even if I was, who cares? I can tour around the Middle East as many times as I want. I don't have to live here. Even if I got kicked out of Kuwait and couldn't go there anymore, I wouldn't be coming back here to live. I would be moving to another country. I would be traveling around as a nomad. I don't care. I'm not coming back here to live. I'm not happy.
How many times in a 2-hour period can foodies say, I'm not happy in Canada, I'm not going to live here, before we all realise she's stuck there and she is going to live there? Because, as I said, this is the complete polar opposite of every time she's been on Canada and claimed to stay. And no, you cannot be a nomad. You are physically incapable of being a nomad unless your idea of being a nomad is moving every 3 months from one hotel to another hotel in a different country and then doing sweet FA in the interim. That doesn't make you a nomad. It makes you homeless. It means you live in hotels. It's not a flex. Getting stamps in your passport does not make you a traveller. It means you move about. A traveller goes from place to place, then actually looks around. You'll be very good for reviewing hotels, but that's it. You won't be able to say anything about local customs, the culture, things to see or anything, because you'll just be hotels and 7-Elevens globally. Whoop-de-doo.
There's always going to be a certain type of nostalgia going back to where you were raised. Doesn't mean you can't love and appreciate a different country. I am so bored with Canada. Like, no, I don't want to stay here for more than a little bit just to see my family. Like, maybe someday I'll change my mind. I have no idea. But right now I want to just, I don't honestly see what's like so great. I don't know.
Yep. She's staying. See, there's things about foodie that we all know to be true because we have observed them. Very much like David Attenborough watching some birds copulate, we have established some patterns. Foodie lies. Foodie will say, prove it, when she's definitely lied. Foodie thinks everything is everybody else's fault. And the more foodie says she doesn't want to do something, she's never going to do something, and stop asking me about the something because it's never going to happen, the more likely it is the something is going to happen, and she already knows the something is going to happen. Foodie has no... I cannot think of the word, but basically she would be a lousy spy.
Cool cat's life. I didn't say you don't like Canada, but I don't think it's the best country. Like, I think that there's more exciting countries, there's more to explore. So I don't feel that way that you do.
Do you know what? I hate chocolate. I really hate chocolate. You could even pay me to eat chocolate. And I definitely didn't eat my own body weight in peanut M&Ms over the festive period. No, can't stand understand the stuff.
Like, if you love Canada, good for you. Like, I don't hate Canada either. I just don't want to live here right now. What's wrong with that? Like, why am I not allowed? Like, why do I have to be like, I love Canada, I want to live here? Like, why can't I want to live somewhere else?
I suspect, I'm of the opinion of the fact, I believe I've made my point.
Like, as if I'm going to pay $1,500 plus for a flight to Canada to come get a fucking Miss Dior perfume. Are you on?
No, but you might pay $1,500 plus to fly to Canada to stay. You're overdoing it, love. Take it down a few notches. Maybe it'll be a little bit more convincing.
Like, what? Yes, I'm pissed off. Like, every time I come on here, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try coming on here again. And then I fucking hate the internet once again. I hate it. Like, I hate it. I don't even know why I bothered. So stupid. I'm going to take $1,500 plus, like, $1,500 plus, rent a car for $1,200 to come here and get some makeup brushes. And a perfume. And some Lush. Oh, you caught me. Oh, dear. Take your friggin' comment and get out of here.
Oh my God. You are so busted. And you know it. My goodness gracious me. Why don't you wave your little fist, stamp your little feet while you're at it? Why don't you call people Islamophobic while you're there? I mean, why not throw everything at your denial? It's not about the Christmas presents, love. People have worked out you've moved back to Canada. It's going to come out really, really soon. I don't know why you're so insistent. You're so stubborn. It's incredible. If I was going to build a house myself with my own hands, I think I'd use you as the foundation. Because then I'd know it would stay up forever. Oh no! Whoa!
What the heck? Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. Who cares about visa runs, Nikocado? Like, they're stupid. They have no content. The frig, who cares?
You obviously do!
Like, who cares? Prove I'm on a visa run. Prove it. Who cares anyways? Anyway. Us Beezers love you. I know, I love you, Beezers. That's the only reason I'm still on this platform.
Sort of. The only reason you're still on this platform, well, there's a few. Validation, attention, money. You have a myriad of addictions. A whole smorgasbord. Cornucopia. And if you are completely away from them, you start to itch. The second you are in their vicinity, you're right at it like a rabbit on a carrot. You are addicted to being online because this is as near as a social life you can get. This is the only validation you have in your life. Your hug box is it. You have two things in your life that make you happy currently, and that is food and your hug box. And the reason you need food and hug box is very, very clear. You are physically unable to feel happy. You cannot naturally feel happiness or joy. The only time you feel happiness or joy is when it is artificially induced, primarily through food, but also through drugs, sex, male attention, and the internet. That is because you're a narcissist and you have no soul. You feel no empathy, you feel no joy. You can artificially manufacture it at times, but that's it. You are devoid of joy. I'd feel bad for you, foodie. I would. Sure I would.
Is Beezers. Usually get gifts when they come back home to us. Yeah, people get gifts. Okay, I'm gonna spend thousands of dollars to come to Canada just to get my Christmas gifts. Readdress the AI pick. Yes, you're dumb, Amanda. You're dumb. Okay, that's your answer. You're dumb.
Any other time you confront foodie about a lie or a deception, she gets defensive and will argue that the sky is green and that everybody else is stupid. But she knows she effed up with that photo, so she just doesn't want to address it at all. She knows she made herself look like a complete and utter idiot, and she wishes she could turn back time.
You guys always imagine every time I come here, I'm not happy here, trust me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I'm going back. I know, but I'm not obviously going to tell people. And you know how I know that's a lie? One, because I'm still waiting, but two, because when we rented our apartments, we had to show our marriage certificate. So this person claims that they know more about our marriage than we do. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yes, SB, you live in Kuwait. There you go. They will not even let you look at those buildings. There's specific buildings that are family buildings. And that's the one we looked at. We liked the ocean view. And yeah, you have to show your marriage certificate. You have to be married to live together in Kuwait.
You have to show your marriage certificate to live together legally in Kuwait. Legally. What you guys were doing, and what has been found out now by people that carry some level of authority, is that you guys are breaking the public indecency laws that are set in Kuwait by cohabitating, and consequently, to avoid the repercussions of your devious deceptions of the last 2 years, you've had to come back to Canada until Salah can find somewhere else for you to illegally cohabitate and go against the indecency laws, which you know damn well people on the internet will try and let that be known to authorities because they're fed up, or not, as the case may be. You have been, I was going to say hung by your own petard, but I don't think that's the right phrase. It's, your debt is being collected. 2 years. 2 years of falsifying a relationship, and finally, you've gotten caught. Welcome to the repercussions of your arrogance, self-centeredness, your righteous indignation. Welcome to the consequences of your actions. You effed around, and now you're finding out.
She's in, like, meanwhile, I'm going down the long road, going live, crying that this guy gave me STDs, was a abuser, was everything bad. And something about that made her, Becky, go, I wonder if I can bag that green peen and enter his DMs and want him. Like, what was wrong with me at the time? What was wrong with these women? What makes that attractive to you? This guy had a mini fridge on a bandsaw desk. All groceries I bought. This guy can't even buy his own groceries to make his shitty food, and that turns you on, apparently.
One, let's ignore everything else about this particular individual and just focus on your bit saying he had a mini fridge on a table. Does that make him less of a person that you should date? Not him, obviously not him. But you are suggesting that we should only be interested in people that have a lot of material things? It's a tad shallow, don't you think? And talk about yourself, love. A lot of people were in his DMs. Do you know why? Because he's a public figure. That's all it takes. It's being a public figure, being known. As you said, Chris Watts had fans. You've even said Hitler had fans. Nada had fans too. And out of all of his fans, you were the number one fan. You were certifiably obsessed with this man, despite giving you gonorrhea, despite treating you like literal shit. You wanted him badly. You'd still be with him, even if he continued to feed you scraps. You were with somebody who categorically refused to acknowledge having any intimate activities with you whatsoever, categorically refused to acknowledge that you had any kind of relationship. And you were obsessed. So stop judging. Kettle, pot, meet each other. You're not making a point at all. You're just making us scratch our heads and say, what were you thinking? Yeah, what were they thinking too? But at least they didn't actually meet him.
How desperate of a woman do you have to be? I'm sorry, but that is very, very, very desperate.
Yes, Chantel. Very, very, very desperate. And while we're here, don't forget the man who accepted those DM requests and responded to those DM requests and engaged in sexual conversations with these DM requests, all the while you thought you were having some kind of relationship with him. Let's rub some salt into the wounds, eh? Salah did not cheat on you. Just because you thought you guys had a relationship didn't mean that he thought you had a relationship. And because he thought he was single, he, by his own standards, didn't cheat. Much like I can't go on and have a hissy fit if Greg Davis is photographed with some woman on a date just because I think we're in a relationship. Because he doesn't think we're in a relationship. He doesn't know I exist actually, but still. That's a joke, by the way. I don't think I'm in a relationship with Greg Davis. Everybody knows my heart is with Pedro.
To all of the women who did that, it's gross. What the hell? Like, can you imagine? I'm so glad my circle is small. I'm so glad. Like, so nasty. Like, ew. And then the stupid loser has the nerve to be like, she make him lie about me. Yeah, okay. Like, you stuck it in every hole you could find. Like, behind my back. Like, and gave me STDs. And that was attractive to women. They had to be validated somehow and call him on Messenger and the tree ladies and everything and be like he just, the homeless women on his porch. There was nothing this scumbag wouldn't do. Like, and he's still trying to repair his reputation? Like, buddy, you need to be in jail. You need to be deported. Oh, I'm letting everyone have it. Anyway, God does not reward these people who go around accusing other Muslims of what's in their heart, of what they believe, of pointing out their sins. Even trying to point out other people's sins is a sin.
Foodie's pretending that Foodie doesn't care. Foodie does care. Foodie cares an awful lot. Foodie is actually very hurt by this, but Foodie will not admit it. To quote Milk Tea, hello, there's a lot to unpack there. Firstly, going on and on about how Nada would stick it in any hole he could doesn't shine you in a particularly good light. You once argued that you could sleep with any man you wanted to. And I'd like to say that is not a flex, because we know that there are some men that will sleep with a corpse. There are some men that will sleep with a corpse that isn't even a person. And there are some people that have been known to stick various parts of their body into fruit and the ground and other such things. So, no, just because somebody wants to stick their thing in your thing, it isn't a flex. Secondly, continue shouting about how Muslims can't judge other Muslims for their sins, while not recognising at all that that's exactly what you are doing at that actual second as the words come out of your mouth. You are doing what you are literally shouting right now. It's like me shouting, "Don't shout!" You know?
Like, people are so stupid on the internet. I can't. So ridiculous. Ugh. No one would ever choose you, okay? No one in life. Guaranteed, if I was single, I could steal your boyfriend, because you're nothing. You're a nothing. Nobody wants anything to do with you other than to say lies in the heat of the moment and then say they want to take a crap on you and treat you like the dog you are. That's all that anyone ever wants with you.
What I'm about to say is actually a bit harsh. The word isn't steal your boyfriend. The word you're looking for is buy your boyfriend.
What are you talking about, Andrea Juarez? Get a life. You're another weirdo who was FaceTiming him. You have issues. Who the fuck is anyone to say that we were not in a relationship? Like, do you honestly think that I would do any of that crap for him if he was not telling me, oh, because he said to the internet that we were only together for a week, so that he doesn't look like he's trying to. Oh, I don't even. Why am I even explaining myself to this idiot, this moron?
Yes, we seriously believe you would do all those things for him, even though you actually knew he didn't consider you guys in a relationship, because you were trying to buy the relationship. You thought if you threw enough money and stuff at him, he'd stay. Because, well, who wouldn't? Most people, Foodie. You are, was, is, always were, and always will be obsessed with Nada El-Shani. You yourself admitted you were addicted to him, and we all know how good you are at managing your addictions.
Like, I don't want to have anything to do with you people anymore. I don't want to talk about my past. I don't want to talk about my personal information. Like, just F off and leave me alone. We just want to visa. That's it. Okay? I want to have a life. I want to have fun. I want to focus on myself.
The only way this will happen is if you F off the internet permanently. And because we know, and you know, you can't, you literally can't. You've already demonstrated it by going online live twice already during this month off. So let's just accept facts and accept you're going to get pissed off at least once a week for the rest of eternity, or until you die. Wow, that was a cheery way to end a video. Anyway, guys, thank you. Absolutely blessed New Year to all of you, and I hope with all of my heart that every single one of you has a better 2025 than you did 2024. And Foodie, I wish you a blessed New Year, and I wish you the New Year that you deserve.